In our top story this hour, the fire which engulfed the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD has left 3 firefighters dead. 7 of their colleagues were taken to hospital for fire-related injuries, while 13 other building workers were also hospitalized. Health Workers Union NEHAWU says 5 of its members working in the building were suspended for raising safety concerns. The building caught fire in the upper floors this morning. One fireman slipped and fell to his death, while the other 2 died inside the building while extinguishing flames. NEHAWU says their members have been raising safety issues about the building for years now. The union says the members were suspended for over a year. It says management was cushioned several times about safety certificates, but it was ignored. The building houses the Gauteng Departments of Infrastructure Development and Health. Joining us now on the line is NEHAWU Gauteng Deputy Secretary Gracia Rikhotso. Gracia, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much indeed for coming through. Now, NEHAWU says the members have been raising safety issues in this building for years now. Talk to us about that.
Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity for us to alert the residents and the community in relation to this incident that is fatal. Firstly, we confirm what you've just been saying on the summary of the incident, to say as NEHAWU, 3 years ago, we started alerting management about the unsafe building of Bank of Lisbon, which led to the suspension of our shop stewards who were said to be inciting workers not to get into the building. Their suspension lasted for 5 years, but just to fast forward, last week Friday, we attended what we call a multilateral, which is a meeting of joint unions. And on the agenda item, amongst other things, it was the issue of the safe OHS issues of Bank of Lisbon. And when we got to that item, there was initially a commitment by management, which was an acknowledgement that that building is not safe, to move from that building. And when we got to that item, management told us that management has taken a decision not to move and no reasons were given to us. We then took it up and told them that the consistent exposure of employees into that hazardous situation will one day to lead to loss of life. And indeed, it's 3 days after we've had that meeting in terms of working days that we are learning about the third passing on of 3 employees from the emergency services unit. But just to take you through about the health hazard within that building, there are challenges in terms of electrical connections. There are challenges in terms of lack of airflow, and there are no air conditioners in the building. Windows do not open. Carpets are very old and dirty. And these are the things that we have repeatedly cautioned management and sensitized them. 3 days ago, there was a challenge in terms of sewer pipes that had actually broken out, and there were human features in the building, and that led to employees being left in that building with that condition up until, as a union, we had to intervene and call for our members to be released from that building. So this is something that we are saying, because it is not something that came unexpected. It's things that we, on time and repeatedly, cautioned management. We believe the law must actually be very tough on management and those people who are responsible for occupational health and safety in that building.
But one would also ask, Gracia, as to NEHAWU is there representing the workers, of course, and your members had to endure those circumstances and conditions. So what did you do, to act on this? I mean, you say that you had a meeting with the management 3 days ago, but 2 days later this happens.
Yes. In fact, let me give you what we are busy doing. We have this morning issued an interdict after management was forcing employees in the National Department of Health. And our position as a health union is saying the state of health in Gauteng is collapsing. But that is also because there is gatekeeping, there is interference, because a year ago, one of our members in the Department of Labor, who is a health inspector, issued a prohibition notice which was prohibiting employees from entering that building after he has actually inspected and identified challenges. But because there is interference interdepartmental, that member who is an inspector was victimized and was actually intimidated and requested to go and take out that prohibition, which he did because he is a subject matter expert. We believe that the Department of Labor must also take full responsibility about what happened, because these are things that were detected, but they did not become tough like they do with other private buildings or private institutions, where they would actually issue that prohibition notice up until the identified challenges are acted on. The fact that that is a government department, it actually did not mean that the inspector that initially issued a prohibition notice was supposed to be intimidated and told that there are 3 key departments that are housed in the building, therefore he cannot issue that warning to say no one must actually enter. So as NEHAWU, we want to also hold the Minister of Labor accountable, because there was intimidation on a person that assessed and identified that that building did not stand the necessary expectations in terms of the health standards.
All right, so from where you're sitting, what happens next? Should your members report to work tomorrow?
Definitely not. In the Department of Health nationally, it's almost a month that members are not entering the building where Minister Aaron Motsoaledi is the minister and is having an office at. And he issued an ultimatum forcing workers to go into that building, and we were very resolute that our workers cannot go in there, and we are interdicting that. In fact, we are waiting for a court date. We are approaching the labor court to challenge that decision of wanting to force workers to get into an unsafe building.
All right, Gracia, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much to Gracia Rehoso. She is the Deputy Secretary for NEHAWU here in Gauteng, basically telling us about the situation at that particular building that went down in fire this morning, I beg your pardon, saying that they had warned the management and cautioned the management over the bird situation there, but of course they chose to ignore them. Now basically saying that they are waiting for a court date at the Labour Department, as they want to interdict the government who are forcing their members to go to work.